Oh, it wasn't no girl from what's the name? Stephanie, was it?
Oh no.
I'm gonna find out.
I'll tell y'all, man. I don't want to say it on there.
Find out.
Trying to get me caught up, boy.
Yeah, I'm find
He ain't
out.
got no pictures though. Don't go try to track him.
I ain't got no pictures, Slick. I ain't gonna lie.
He out there. He out there.
Hey,
you on here?
Real quick, Al. Speaking of pictures, I got one more. What were they thinking?
Oh.
So if you're in the chat, I
Put it
need
out
y'all to
there.
pay attention to this and send this to them once you guys see it. So take a look at this. This was around 1992, 93, and the Gorgeous Hunk contest. What were they thinking?
And that Bill back
That's
We have Bill Burns.
That's Mike Red.
Mike Red and DJ.
Rochelle.
Rochelle.
Mike Jinks. Oh, Phil and they're looking like Erica back there.
Yeah,
Man,
man.
Bill.
At the corner store, cracking jokes like we poppin' soda water. Big Gooch K rockin', and I'm teaching the ladies laws for sure. No cool hand, hardy on the floor. Hot dog, cheese, toppings, slide for the Facebook.
Hey. Happy Thursday. And we're back at the corner store with another pop-up corner store podcast show where we let you in on our group chat. Just a couple of guys who grew up in Glenville, Georgia, who chop it up almost every day talking about politics, sports, current events, or just shooting the breeze with funny memes and stuff like that. I'm Shannon Howard, one of your hosts, and I'm going to bring up the rest of my co-hosts. We got Roderick, Slick King, Micah,
What it do?
Big Gooch,
Yo.
and the reigning teacher of the year, Mr. Edmund Richardson.
What up?
What's going on, my guys? What's going on? Long time no see. We talk to each other almost every day, but it's good to see y'all, fellas. Hopefully, we can have a good show, get some people to tune in tonight. And if you're tuning in,
welcome back, Gooch.
I know it.
yeah,
I know it, man. It's been a minute, bro. Sorry about that.
Oh, nah, you good. We hadn't had many shows without you, brother. You know, we need our stage hand on hand for us.
Yeah,
Man, we was about to cut your ass.
Slick.
Fire.
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
Hey,
You had like one more target, bro. It was over.
hey, Slick. I heard. Hey, somebody asked me that too. About, man, they just finna cut you out, man. You don't even be there. Every time I look around, you somewhere traveling with work, man. You will never be on the show.
Kelly got to check in.
I'm like, what the hell? Let me make some money, man.
Kelly can't just log in no more. He got to check in, get voted on. You know, it's all kind of.
You got to check in like the rappers have to do with the OGs when they come to town.
Yeah, Kelly lost his pass. Him and Luke lost their pass, man. They got.
Oh yeah, Luke might have to reapply. All right, man. We got a lot going on in the world right now. I mean, from politics to sports to entertainment. We got March Madness, NBA playoffs is getting ready to head up. But before we go to that, national security. And we've all done it. Well, I'll admit I've done it. I've added people to a text, or I thought I was texting someone else and was texting the wrong person. But taking a look at tonight's topics, texting classified info. What are your thoughts on that? This is our paper and politics segment, but Micah and Edmund, I'll let you guys have first dibs at this topic. What were they thinking when they did this? And what would others think if they were black?
Well, for me, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, it's bigger than just black and white. It's basic national security. When this happened, the Republicans were losing their minds when Hillary Clinton had an email, was sending emails through a private server, and they were saying jail her. But now these jokers are actually talking through war strategies and striking other countries, and they were doing it on a public app. If this was anybody else that they did not like, man, Fox News would be around the clock talking about how these folks have pretty much committed treason against our country. But it's the disheartening thing is you see firsthand the hypocrisy of the Republican Party, the hypocrisy of Donald Trump, who said he was going to be great on national security and great on classified information, but these jokers are making elementary type of mistakes when it comes to national security. But I'm not surprised. I mean, this is the same guy that took home hundreds of classified documents and got prosecuted for it. But if it wasn't for his appointee on the federal bench, I mean, he would have probably been prosecuted there a long time ago. But it just goes to show you the double standard we have in our body politic when it comes to these types of things.
Yeah, and it's just so, I mean, they're so nonchalant about, security, our national security. It's even bigger than politics, really, because at this point, you're talking about the security of the whole nation, right? And letting secrets or things get out that shouldn't be out. So what's next? Who else you gonna add to the group chat?
Yeah, that's true.
So-
And Roderick, you're our resident military guy, and
Well,
you probably can
I
speak
have
to it better than
30
anyone.
I got about 30 years of experience in this topic, and I'm I'm gonna have to be careful because I don't want to represent, and a lot of people, when I speak, when I'm professionally. But I have 30 years of experience in this, and what you saw was a classic case of spillage, what we call spillage. Spillage is, first and foremost, it always start off with those that are authorized classified material have to go through an extensive background. Once you go through an extensive background, you are given a level of security. Depending on what that particular classification is or that is, you may have special access, which is what they call security security critical Sapp. Basically, it's a special access program. All right, you get what they call an SCI, which is another form of security, and then depending on where you at, you may another level. So it's different types classified. It's different type. It's only a people that can declassify, and you can take some unclassified stuff, put it together, and it comes classified. And it's all procedures to to protect that information. Now I heard you say something about Hillary. What Hillary did is not in the norm of security practice. Now, what you will see also is that the higher rank you get or the higher position you get, a lot of those folks get careless because most of the information they receive or use is classified information. So it is times where people do unintentionally release classified information, but that case that you saw with the with the text, first and foremost, that's not the format to discuss that type of information. You have annual training that kind of explains that, so there's no excuse on that portion. And when you do disclose classified material, it is procedures to basically stop that process, see how it happened, investigate it, retrain the individual, or punish. You can be punished by fired, losing your access, or jail. I saw the Attorney General said that they're not even looking into it for jail purposes. I'm pretty sure these guys are too arrogant to get retrained. Leaves administrative punishment.
But see,
I don't think that's going to happen either. So right now, it's a slap in the face that people that do this training every day, or those that get in trouble
every year,
or those that
they done been disciplined.
It's a slap in the
but these
face.
guys not right.
People that work in classified on a daily basis, this is a straight up laughable slap in the face. Why do I do all training? Why do I have all these badges? Why do I have to go through every 5 years and get my clearance done? Why, when folks are coming off the street and getting top classified information?
But see, the problem I have with that too, Roderick, is that when you look at it, Governor Petraeus was prosecuted and got, I think it may have been downgraded eventually, but he got prosecuted for unintentionally releasing classified information. Normally when you are dealing with this type of classified information, you go into a SCIF. This is a place where you have to drop all your cell phones at the door. You drop everything and you go into a room that's insulated, that you talk about these things. These jokers were talking about this willy-nilly, that talked about how they were going to bomb another nation. I mean, this could have put our troops in harm's way, because what if Russia or somebody could have gotten access to this and tipped off that country, and they could have been prepared for us. This is very big, and not everybody, but their side is downplaying this like nothing's wrong. This is worse than Hillary Clinton and anything else combined.
Well, Slick, Edmund, let me ask you this. They keep saying it was an accident. Do you think it was deliberate? Do you think this was meant to do it just to see? Because they're so aggressive. They so aggressive about doing things now these days. They care less for what people know and people don't know.
No, I don't think they thought this was going to get out, because they happened to, by mistake, include the reporter from the Atlantic in the thread, and he sat back and he didn't really report on anything. He just stated that he was on, and these jokers were on a public app talking about a war situation. So that's the reason why he came forward. And then they started trying to call him a liar and make him the enemy when he said, and then that's when he started releasing the information. It's more stuff that he released today through the New York Times that they were on there talking about. You got texts of J.D. Vance, the vice president, talking about what Donald Trump shouldn't be. He hoped that Donald Trump, I am not sure the president is aware of how inconsistent this is with his message on Europe. Right now, there's further risk that we see a moderate to severe spike in oil. They're discussing business on this.
Yeah, it's wild. And then for them to even use Signal, like Roger, you probably can speak to this part even more, but that's an app you can download out of the app store. It's not even governmental approved. And then for them to be communicating like that, I think a couple of the cabinet members were not even in the country. One was in Moscow, and anytime you're an official in Moscow, they get to review all of your digital data. So
it comes back to training.
Yeah. I had the lowest
training.
I had the lowest level of security clearance working on post. So not secret, not top secret. It was the lowest level. And what they're doing with their top secret, we had to do training. We couldn't even do that with the lowest level of security. And we didn't handle a lot of classified documents. It was just, we were working on the military base and handling soldier information and things like that. But still, if I had done something like this or used the unapproved government or unapproved app or anything like that to pass information along, even if it was financial counseling advice, I would be fired on the spot.
You had that bathroom security on base. That's why.
Yeah, I had the lowest level of security.
Michael's telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? This is my professional. This is my professional job. I'm telling you now that what Michael's saying is true. What Michael probably doing is working with what they call CUI, which is personal data. Social Security, birth dates, anything that we go over training to specifically not release information. And I'm telling you what I've seen from this. I'm gonna be honest with you, with Biden having classified information in his garage. These are serious violations that the average person would probably go to jail.
Want water?
Yeah. I mean, even in the private sector, coming from financial services and the banking background, there are certain protocols and compliance that you would have to follow. You couldn't use personal devices to even communicate about files of customers and things of that nature. So it's wild that the double standards are so glaring at
and
this
see,
point.
I hate when we elevate Biden's and even Pence offense to the level of what this is, or even what Trump did when he left on the White House the first time around. They had staff to pack that stuff, and sometimes things are retroactively classified as classified information. And once they discovered that some classified information was taken, they told them to go do an extensive search of their archives, because most of their stuff was going to archives, to like libraries and schools,
Yeah,
things
but
like that. And
Evan,
then they
you
have
talking about reactive. Now they reacted different, but the violation is the same.
Oh no.
Okay.
What I'm saying is the violation might have been there, but it wasn't like every criminal activity is based on intent, right? And so when you look at what they were doing, it was their staffs collecting all of their information from when they were working in the White House and say, look, I'm going to one day put this in my library, so on and so forth. And then once they found out the violation was there, they went and they returned. Well, they didn't even return. They had them to come to their properties to look to make sure that the stuff that they had, there was no more classified information there, so that they,
I would agree with you, but classified is clearly marked. It is
not always, because
yes,
one thing
hold on,
wait.
Marked.
One of the things that we found out in the Hillary Clinton situation is that sometimes, even though it's not classified at the moment, they can go back and reclassify it. And that's what happened. It can be retroactively.
Okay. So what you're saying is not the norm. So what you're saying is that once a document is classified, they go through steps to declassify it. Once that document get declassified, it's also a destroy date on that. Now, what you're talking about with Hillary Clinton don't sound like a declassification. What it did was the multitude of information that she had combined together may come back to be a classification. But once a document is declassified, it does not get reclassified. You have to have an authority figure to do that.
I remember reading in the during that time frame that, I'm not saying all the information wasn't, above board. What I'm saying is a lot of things that she had in there, even Biden, even Pence and some of the other folks, they said like the president has the ability, or even national security officials have the ability to go back in. Something at the time may not be classified. Yeah, may not be classified.
Ultimate OCA.
Yeah, it may not be classified at the moment, but was retroactively classified, and they found some of those documents there that was there. Now, most of the other documents that are highly secure, they can't even leave the SCIF.
Technically, no. But remember, what I told you is the higher you get up in the chain, the more violations you probably have, because these people don't talk like we do. They talk on what we call a secure net. So, and at one time, they were able to get that information on what we call Blackberries, because they're never been, they used to be out of the office. Depending on what your rank is, you may have a SCIF in your house.
Yes.
Because you're cleared don't mean that your funds are cleared, et cetera, et cetera. So you're supposed to go by a certain protocol. So what you're saying, I understand, but in our world, they are violations. Regardless if you tell your secretary to go pick it up, that is still your responsibility. Because every action, every document that is classified is clearly marked. Trust me, you cannot make it is not a piece of paper that you can go put in a vanilla envelope. It is.
Oh no,
we are trained to put that information, seal it a certain way, carry it a certain way. You have to have credentials to get it outside of a gate. You have to have credentials to get it on a plane. This is no accident. So what I'm telling you is the higher
are there
you
different levels of classification though? Like, is there different tiers, or is all?
It's 3 tiers. It's 3 tiers. It's 3 tiers.
See, my thing is, and we had this whole conversation, but what they did is a clear violation at the highest levels. You are conversating on a public app about your war strategy.
Yeah.
That's the ultimately.
Well,
That's the
they
ultimate.
had it was an OPSEC violation. So in order for us to understand what they did, the information that was passed, it has to be transcribed from the text and then looked at classified documents, and then what we call that text may have had classified information, and you do what we call a derivative. It derived from that classified document, which you still got to, like that text, any of that information is supposed to be marked. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to say they willfully violated the Federal Records Act. Like Signal, you can set it to where your messages disappear. With the Federal Records Act, all of that transcript has to be recorded.
It is a lot of violations.
Yeah, and what gets me though is the arrogance and boldness of them. Like the National Archive, right? You know who the president is over the National Archive? Marco Rubio. He was on that. He knows the protocol and the rules and the sequence of how things should be saved for that, but they willfully and boldly went along with that. So,
Slick, they probably have no choice. It's not like who's going, if he gonna say something about it, who's gonna, do something. Trump ain't gonna allow that to grow no legs.
Yeah. But one of the things too is this was actually a part of Project 25, right? Their whole strategy was to never communicate through public mediums because it will be subject to Freedom of Information Act, where you can get that information of them communicating with one another. And so that was part of their strategy.
Technically it's still subject to that, because if more than I think 2 of them or 3 of them are on this group chat, then it's still subject to that.
And a judge just ruled that they must protect those messages because it is subject to open records request.
Yeah, I think some reporters have already filed lawsuits against them.
Yeah.
Looks like we lost our co-host again, but that we're still in our paper and politics segment of the show. If you're tuning in, thanks for tuning in to the Corner Story. We're letting you in on our group chat. A couple guys from Glenville, good friends, good brotherhood. Still in the paper and politics segment. Man, this is going viral, which I think is overblown. But Hot Wheels.
Okay.
Hot Wheels.
My boy Hot Wheels.
Jasmine
Crockett.
She's under scrutiny for calling him Hot Wheels, which I've heard he actually calls himself Hot Wheels as a term of endearment to, I guess, show how bad he is in a wheelchair.
Man, let me just go ahead and set this off. They have the temerity to come on national television and try to chastise somebody around respectable politics. Give me a break. When you have Trump, who have called black athletes sons of bees, black Congresswoman Maxine Waters and other black Congresswomen crazy, low IQ, women nasty, fat pigs, dogs, slobs, disgusting animals, black nationalists. I'm gonna say black nations around the world, S-hole countries, black prosecutors, rabid animals, black vice president, dummy, degenerate. What else he said? Grossly
mocking
incompetent.
the handicap on national.
Mocking the handicap. So don't even come to me with that. These folks have given people names, said crazy things, but what it is that she's giving them that same energy. So what can we do to handicap her and cut her off at the knees? This is a play. This is what they do well. And it's Democrats that need to grow a spine and stand behind your representatives and stop being wimps when it comes to defending your people.
I saw Van Jones.
There you
go.
And Van Jones was literally complaining about Democrats cursing too much right now.
Man, tell Van go somewhere.
Van
and go
Jones
back
been
over
left out the party.
Right. Van Jones is a sucker, and he has no credibility in my eyes. My thing is, now these Republicans can go around here cursing, let's go Braden, which is a code word for F Biden. I mean, these folks they say the most incendiary things, and we supposed to just let this ride. Like I told people, that was nice and well what Michelle Obama said in 2012. When they go low, when they go low, we go high. No, when they go low, we going to hell. That's what we need to develop that mantra. We're going to hell, and the Democrats need to grow a spine. That's why people don't trust the Democratic Party right now, and they're on
Mike Tyson
they're on their last leg. Right. It's time to fight back. People want fighters. Fight for what you believe in.
Big facts.
They're not doing it, man. They're not pushing it.
They're not. And that's a great segue, Edmund, to our next topic. Now, this guy hasn't left and gone and joined MAGA yet, so I don't think he's a blagger, but I'm going to pull his picture up real quick. Now, this part of the show, ladies and gentlemen, might get a little heated because we get in-depth in our group chat sometimes.
Man, let my boy talk. Release my boy. Let my boy talk.
He said he's done with the Democrats.
Saying what he said.
Is that Byron Scott? Is that Byron Scott?
Yeah, it's Roderick King. I speak. I'll back it up. I'm gonna tell you.
Tim Donald or Byron Scott.
I'm gonna tell you, and it's a lot more people just like me. You know what I'm saying? That I'm gonna tell you, I'm tired of the old playbook. You know what I'm saying? This ain't 1966. You know that stuff that ain't working no more. You get what I'm saying? People want tangible things. People are work hard. People are tired of working hard, paying taxes, and seeing other people benefit.
When you say people, who
I'm telling you from the top to the bottom. I'm telling you right now, the Democrats have forgotten about me. And I told you that during the election. And you kept talking about you get mad at the Republicans for the trickle-down theory, but then you talk about the trickle-up theory. And both of them theories ain't working.
But this is the thing. Who are the majority of people on welfare and benefits in this country?
I don't care. I'm not looking at color, and I'm talking about y'all.
I'm saying I'm looking at the alternative. What is the alternative to what you're talking about?
What I'm telling you is what we're doing right now ain't working. You get what I'm saying? It's not working. We have families that have been on welfare for generations. That is not working.
Majority of the country has been on welfare. What color have they been, and who have they always voted for?
Hold on. See, I have a problem. See, I think the premise we're arguing on a turf that is made up and generated. See, the problem is, do you believe in welfare for certain people over other people?
Well, if y'all let me finish my statement, see, y'all listen to what y'all want to listen to because y'all are advocates for one side. What I'm telling you is everybody eats off the trough. Everybody, from the rich people to the middle class to the poor people, everybody's eating off the trough, and people are finding out what the trough is and how we're eating. That ain't my argument. What my argument is, and I can't justify this, is that I'm paying taxes. I'm talking about me personally. I'm paying taxes, okay? I'm not getting any program that is benefiting me. You're telling me that I'm supposed to sacrifice my family, my welfare, and everybody for the betterment of the rich people. That's what the magazines are saying. And you're Democrat is telling me I should sacrifice it for the benefit of the poor people. What I'm telling you is, okay, fine. I did that. Nothing has changed. Nobody has gotten better. Nobody has changed. The rich people say, you know what? You gave me $5, I want 10. You know what the poor people said? You gave me $5, I want 10. You get what I'm saying? Think about this. How many black people said, I'm voting for Trump because he gave me $1,200 during COVID? You get what I'm saying? How many rich people said, I'm voting for Trump because my tax breaks were, my taxes were better? What I'm telling you is, y'all just as bad as MAGA people. And until we change that mindset, come back to the center, I'm done. I'm done with it. And there ain't nothing y'all can say to change my mind on that. That means I'm voting for the best interest of myself. That means right now, if the election for governor was held today in the state of Georgia, I am voting for the dude that's in office right now. He has done an outstanding job in my eyes. Bottom line. And you can't get me to change it.
His term's up.
He can't run anymore.
I know he can't run. But what I'm telling you is, if he had another 4 years,
hey, look, I'm not.
Go ahead, Emma.
Well, is that me? So that's a back here. See, I don't want to have in philosophy. See, philosophy have a lot to do with the mindset of why certain people vote Democrat over Republican and why some people vote Republican over Democrat. For me, it's about what you have done it to the least of these. And my thing is, a lot of the things that we're talking about and the reason why we need to solve these problems, because it starts at poverty. Some of these same people that's happy about a stimulus check, it's deeper than that. The root cause of that is we haven't even dealt with systemic things in this country that needs to be dealt with. I mean, the reason why we don't have universal health care, the reason why we don't have a top-notch education system is because of the issue of race. Many of these people vote against their own interests every day, even in the South, because they don't want to. They think if they vote for some of these programs, they'll be helping somebody that look like you, everybody on this podcast. And so, until we address these issues, we're gonna continue to go around in circles and say, "Well, this person ain't do that for me. This person ain't do nothing for me." But you have a party out here trying to fight for those things, but we live in a democracy. You have to give some, you have to take some. And oftentimes the system doesn't move as fast as other people want it to move. So they just take their ball and go home and say, I don't even want to play anymore because you're not getting what you want to, you think you should be getting from the system. But my thing is, if you line up issue by issue, I ain't saying vote for one party over the other, or you should be a Democrat or you should be a Republican. Take issue by issue and then make your decision that way. Where do you stand on health care? Where do you stand on education? Where do you stand on taxes? Where do you stand on these different programs that we have? Then make your decision. It's bigger than a party. The reason why many black people vote for Democrats is because they feel like probably 70% of the issues that they hold near and dear to their heart, the Democrats are willing to go out here and support those things over this other party over here.
And that used to be the case. And let me tell you, and like I told you guys earlier, I felt like the Democrats strayed. They went too far. They did too much. They did things. They prioritized things that to me weren't important or was a fight for the future. So they made that. They stood ground on gay rights and trans rights, and they stood ground on that. They decided to draw a line in the dirt. But when it came to voting rights, you know what they did? They tit-tatted around the block. You know what I'm saying on that? When it come to middle class taxes, I kept hearing about that. And, they kept tit-tatting around the block. You know what I'm saying? But when it came to passing, laws that benefit other minorities, guess what? All of a sudden that became a priority. Things got passed.
But see, that wasn't true. See, a lot of
it
people.
Is true. It is true. No, it's nothing you can say today.
It's not. It's
Take
not.
The voting rolls,
No. What did they do for other minorities that they didn't do for us?
They passed that Asian bill, the one about
that was not an Asian bill.
I don't care what you call it. The impact of the bill.
It wasn't. It wasn't. Asians happen to be the
shit
ones.
You gonna say tonight gonna change my mind?
No, I ain't trying to change your mind. I'm saying let's talk facts. Now, I can't change your mind. I can't change. But what I'm saying is what we got to do.
Hold on, Edmund. Hold on.
Thoughts and opinions on this show does not represent the opinion of our employers or organizations. These are the opinions of the individual host. Sit back,
and we running
relax.
The same script.
All right, go ahead, Edmund. I had to
what I was saying is, Roderick, everybody's
trying to go to work tomorrow.
Opinion. I ain't trying to persuade you from saying this and that, but now what we got to do is operate from facts. That was not an Asian bill.
What was
as a matter? It was a hate crime bill for everybody. Everybody's go read the bill. It's in there. The reason why it took the face of the Asian bill because guess what? Many Asians were getting attacked because the president at the time was saying that the Asians were calling the coronavirus, and so people were out here crazy attacking these people.
What motivated that bill?
And that's what.
Edmund, what motivated that bill?
It was a whole host of things that motivated that bill. But what I'm saying is,
it was the Asians getting there for the coronavirus that motivated that bill.
But here's the thing.
It was Trump labeling them as the cause of the.
I got you, but was that the motivation?
It was the reaction to it.
I'm asking you a question. Answer the question, yes or no.
It was a reaction to that situation, but Roderick, the bill was not specifically for
I understand
Asians.
that. I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. It is specifically didn't say for Asian people only. But what I'm telling you is that black people have been killed, slung, dragged, hung.
And what did we get? What did we get? But what did we get? But what did we get?
Nobody moved as fast. Hey,
yes,
nobody moved
did.
as fast as them.
Did,
hey,
yes,
they did with them pins. Once them damn people started talking about Corona and beating up some Asians.
You sound like the Adios movement right now, Roger. They did. We got the James Byrd hate crimes legislation. That's named after the black man that was drugged behind the truck in Texas.
And I remember that. Yeah.
So we got this, and then we got the Emmett Till lynching bill. We got the civil rights. Let me tell you something. The Civil Rights Movement, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, although we fought for it, but everybody benefited from it.
And guess what? They just killed 2 twin brothers up in the mountains in Atlanta. Last
and I hope they catch them and charge them with a hate crime if that was a hate crime.
Yeah.
And we have it on
all I'm telling you is.
But what I'm saying is, I think culturally, like, hey, look, everybody's entitled to be in. I'm pissed with the Democratic Party for a host of reasons as well. But what I'm saying is, I think when we say this, it's not as clear cut as saying, oh, the Democrats ain't doing this or this right here. I look at issues, right? I believe that healthcare should be a right for all. I know the Republicans don't stand for that. I believe that everybody should have access to a high quality, equal education. I know the Republicans don't agree with that. I think we should have a tax system that's fair for everybody, that is progressive, that actually tax the wealthy at a rate that they need to be taxed, like Warren Buffett said, one of the richest men in the world.
So
I should pay the same rate as I should pay the same rate as my secretary. Right?
So let's talk taxes. Let's talk taxes.
Okay.
All right. So the current tax system right now is, and I'm not putting nobody business out there, but the current tax system is that depending on how much money you make, you are required to pay so much money quarterly for a year. Okay. In the current tax system. All right. So depending on where you at in the tax system, all right. On top of that, in the tax system, they also give you what they call tax credits, okay, that to help offset some of the cost of your tax bill to the government. All right. Now, my question is, how is it that a person that works 3 months go in there and paid $200 in taxes, maybe $5, add those tax credits, and now I owe them money? Does that make sense to you?
Well, here's the thing. I think there's some room to work here in the tax, and I kind of agree with you there. Where I know people who will game the system that go work for a week or two so that they can draw a W-2 and claim all their kids on tax and get about $10,000 back. I agree with you. There should be some issue. There should be some reform around that area to ensure that people are not gaming the system. But the same way we're coming down on the poor side of the bracket, we need to come down on that rich side of the bracket where you have people who are making.
I'm not finished. I'm not finished on that. Okay, I just want to. I'm gonna break down the issues that I have with my party and my party's arguments. You get what I'm saying? Another thing is, I watch us go up there and argue about we in 2025, and I watch us argue or try to justify not voting with an ID card. Now tell me, why are we arguing that as a party?
Well, here's the thing, right? I was interning down at the state legislature when this came up, even in Georgia. Now, there's some disingenuous stuff that was going on when they brought that issue up to the forefront, because guess what, Roger? You and I, and this podcast is named after Glenville, Georgia. Well, we know back in the early 1900s when our grandparents and great-grandparents were born, they did not have access to like birth certificates and all these things, and didn't even have IDs and didn't even drive. So they knew that that was going to knock out a big portion of the voting block, because they used to be able to take a bill, take their social security card, take proof of residency to the polls with them to prove their residency. And so many Democrats argue that if you're going to do this, it's really a poll tax, because if you're not going to give them IDs for free, then you're actually trying to discourage people from voting. And so that was the argument around this voter ID, where it became a way to suppress voters in the African American and even in the Hispanic community. It wasn't like, oh, we all of a sudden should have we got all this fraud in the system. They've done study after study after study and shown that there's no overriding fraud of the voting system. It was a strategy.
I got you.
When it is, and I mean, when there is fraud, what side of the aisle is it?
It's mostly Republicans. This man just
yeah. So my question is, instead of arguing about not having ID card to go and vote, this 2025, you got it? So most of those people you're talking about is probably deceased or not voting. So
no, that's why.
Not necessarily, because
I said most. Hey, sister, you know what I'm saying? There ain't too many sister Germans was running around. You know what I'm saying? And
even our parents' generation, their birth certificate is jacked up and wrong, and some of them still don't have none to this day.
But you what I'm telling you is that they found a way to purchase houses, vehicles, and cars, and you got to have some form of ID for that. So what I'm telling you is, instead of our argument of not having IDs, why can't we shift that argument as, hey, let's fund and get these guys IDs and take that argument away from
Roderick, it has shifted. You don't hear people arguing about IDs no more. It's like, how do we get them an ID for free? And here's another thing I forgot.
Your girl's still arguing.
Who?
What the girl that lost the governor?
Stacey Abrams.
Stacey Abrams.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing I want to bring up, though. The thing she's probably arguing is, I can be a student at Morehouse and Spelman, but if I'm a student at Georgia State or any state institution, that ID counts. But the ID that I get at a Morris Brown or a Spelman or a Clark, I can't use that to go vote.
I agree with her. I agree with her, because the real ID Act is some states that you can't use your ID card to travel in because they don't have a real ID Act. So I agree with you.
But what I'm saying, this is
state issued ID.
But hold on, this is the issue I have, because you didn't even have to have an ID. You could use your gun registration license, but if I went to a historically black college in the state or a private institution, I couldn't use ID. ID is to verify that you are a citizen, and you still had to show your proof of residency, all these other things. But it goes to show you they found cunning ways to get to try to suppress the vote. But I get you. Nobody's arguing about ID because everybody pretty much have ID. It was back in the early 2000s when they were making the case that I was making about, the ID and how they were using it to suppress black and brown people's votes.
What I'm saying is, some of our major arguments or some of our major tactics, to me, are being outdated and not catching up with the modern party that we are right now. The Democratic Party is, everybody knows, is a blender. Everybody's there, from different classes to different races, everything. What I'm telling you is that the Democratic Party right now that we're being led by, the voices are being heard louder. I do not agree with those guys to the extent that I'm going to vote for them anymore.
I think I have a theory as to why that's happening.
Are you speaking to the progressives?
Yeah, the progressives don't speak for me. We have three people that are right now the loudest in the Democratic Party. Three people that are loudest in the Democratic Party.
Have you ever seen the polls when it comes to the
policies? I don't
policies?
care about them polls. Them polls told you old girl was going to win.
No, I'm talking about the policies. I ain't talking about candidates. I'm talking about what America agree with as a whole.
Yeah, but America always agree with
majority.
America always agree with free.
Let me no, it wasn't. It ain't just free. Americans believe in things that many European countries believe in. It's just that we can't pass those policies because we can't come together, especially poor blacks, poor whites, and poor brown people, to really, implement these policies that are very popular. I'll give you a prime example. They went to Tennessee. I'm gonna say Tennessee, Kentucky, and they asked these white poor people, "Do you like Kentucky care?" They was like, "Oh, we love Kentucky care." Then they asked them, "Do you like Obamacare?" They said, "Hell no, we don't like Obamacare. Obamacare is government takeover of medicine." Then the reporter said, "Do you realize Kentucky care is Obamacare?" Our problem is, as a party, we are still dealing in this country with the race issue, and no one wants to address it.
Oh, I agree with you.
You have poor white people that will vote against their own economic interests over and take the position because
it ain't just white
they're
people.
cultural.
So let me tell you something that's happening right now. And military members, they are not smart. So right now, it's a lot of people that didn't serve in the military that are jealous about the benefits that the military members are getting. The 100%. You know, right now I saw a Facebook post, and this person was talking about they showed how much they're gonna get if they were 100% disability. And I think the person did about 3 years in the military, and they showed the thing. Oh, I can't wait to get 100% and get this check. Well, they putting this on Facebook and they brag. You get what I'm saying? And guess what's happening? That guy that's sitting there that went to college, that's not getting that $4,500, whatever it is, and he's low-key jealous about that, you know, because he looking at you, your healthy butt, coming to work every day, getting the same check he get, plus that extra money you getting from the VA. You know what I'm saying? And to me, we have a tendency to, it ain't even black hating white people and white people hating black. It's pretty much, we done got to the point now, it's classism. You know what I'm saying? It's classism. And we keep trying to wrap it around race.
I agree
but it's classism.
I hear you to a certain degree. To me, you taking the Bernie Sanders position, because I think it's bigger than that. I think it's race. Like, people, it's like we're afraid to really address the elephant in the room. The reason why we don't have universal health care right now, the reason why our education system is the way it is, and these folks are still trying to white flight to private schools and this, is because of race, and no one wants to address it. We keep pushing around it.
But why would I give up? Let's put it like this. Let's put it in a different perspective. All right, you talking from the point of not having health care. I'm talking for a point that I got health care. So you want me to give up my doctor that I've had for 15 years, you know, because I can afford it, to go to a stream system like the VA, where you get appointed a doctor, you get appointed medicine, you get appointed this for the betterment of everybody. That's what you're asking me to do.
No. See, that's a false choice, Roderick. See, my thing is, we're smart enough to design a system that we don't have to make those false choices. And then, second of all, I would say this right here. If you revamp our system, see, right now we are a sick care system. We're not a health care system, because we're not even conditioned to go to the doctor like we're supposed to, because everybody fears the doctor, can't afford the doctor, go bankrupt going to the doctor. So if we have a system that starts you from birth and condition you from birth to be able to go to the doctor, take care of yourself, get checkups, most of our money is spent at the emergency room and at the end of care type of medicine, heart attacks, diabetes, all these things. Imagine if we had a true healthcare system that started from birth, where people got dental checkups, health. We wouldn't have that big rush on the system later in life when we didn't take care of ourselves good. And so I think that's the conversation we need to have. We're looking at it as is right now, but we have to reimagine this thing and look at what they have in Canada right above us, what they have in all these other nice
They got universal.
They got universal health care.
Have you
talked to a Canadian?
Have you talked to a Canadian?
I'm not saying it's perfect.
Yeah, but Roderick,
right?
What's the number one reason people go bankrupt in America?
Medical.
Okay. Is Canada's bankrupt record levels as high as the U.S.?
I got what you're saying, but it doesn't start with us getting sick. It starts with the mindset of how we are living. You know what I'm saying? And what we do. It goes back.
But why are we
they
living
monetize.
like that?
They put healthcare, like Edmund said, it's not healthcare, it's sick care. they've actually put that a part of the capital system that we're a part of, because there's no money in the cure, the money's in the treatment. So they want
you
to come
I understand what you're saying, but it's different taking care of 20 million people or 30 million people than the difference between taking care of 300 million people.
No one cares about the cure anymore. The cure is overrated.
But would you have that many sick people if we were actually having a true healthcare system?
Probably not. But how many?
Exactly.
So I would agree with you. But today's preventative medicine, it's been to the point where I know some people that's got free dental care, free medical, and they still don't go to the doctor.
But think about their psyche, Roderick, though. How were they raised?
It goes back to the
that actually brings me to a good point. And shameless plug, on June 12th in Glenville, you can get free mammogram, as a matter of fact. So if you haven't had a mammogram, you're a female over that age in Glenville, you can get a free mammogram.
How many females you think in Glenville that fit that category where they need a mammogram?
A bunch.
No, yeah. I'm just saying how many. Give me a number.
Oh man, I don't know off the top of my head. Probably a couple hundred. We'll say a few hundred, maybe.
I guarantee you 100 people will be there.
You think that many?
Put a small bit on it. I guarantee you, if it's 300 people in Glenville that qualify for it, 100 gonna show up.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to think mindset. I mean, it's with everything, man. Our mindsets are off. Like it's gonna take some coaching and some teaching and getting us there, man. We hard on ourselves though, and I had to check myself on this. I mean, we just 50 years, 60. I think 60 years from the march on. I'm gonna say the Selma to Montgomery march. I mean, we're still young. Our parents was raised in this segregated society, and we still got some work to do. And I think we're so hard on ourselves. And I think we've come a long way, but we got a long way to go. But I just feel like, to get back to our original and then close this up, is that I feel you, Roderick. I feel your frustration, and I understand it. I just say, as an individual, you may not rock with the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, but just look at the issues individually. And that's what I say to everybody, anybody that's listening. Look at the issues individually, because it's like, do I chop off my nose to spite my face just because I don't agree with this party and the strategy, but I know that they're going to prevent. It's like voting defense. Like, we're gonna play prevent defense, with at least with Democrats. I know they're gonna appoint judges that will protect my rights. I know they're gonna do this right here. So that's the reason why I may vote over here. I don't agree with the Democratic Party on a whole lot of things, because guess what? At the same time, in this party, they got some racist folk in this party. They got some elitist folks in this party that don't look at us the way they only want to use us for our votes. But at the same time, I know if I go over here, I may get hung.
Hey, I'm gonna say one thing before I get out of here. I was an adult. I became an adult when during Clinton administration. So I had a Democrat, and then a Republican, then a Democrat, then a Democrat, then a Republican, then a Democrat. And you know what's funny? My life has not changed. I don't see. My life hadn't changed. My living arrangements hadn't changed. My bank account hasn't changed. I'm telling you, I cannot tell the difference.
Bro, you hadn't changed, what does change look like to you? Because when I see you, knowing you how long I've known, I see progression. Progression doesn't mean I haven't changed. Progression means your life has actually gotten better. Your life hasn't gotten better.
Well, your life should be in a trajectory, a upwards trajectory. But what I'm telling you is that my life has not changed. You get what I'm saying?
Can I ask you a question though, Roger, real quick? Do any of your kids have access to your GI Bill to go to school?
Yes.
Okay. Who passed the updated version of that GI Bill?
In 21.
Huh?
You talking about when we were able to do it? That
No,
happened
no.
after.
Obama.
That happened September 11. That's probably I think it was in Obama.
It was Obama's administration that passed it. So what I'm saying is, although you may not see anything physically right now, the seeds that were sown back in the, early 2009, 10 in that era benefited you because that GI Bill was updated to help soldier, our servicemen and women to be able to.
Why? You know why that was given us? So that benefit was given to soldiers, and soldiers were having a hard time going to school. So the soldiers went in and argued, hey, this money is going to waste. Why can't I don't want to go to school. Why can't I give this to my spouse or my family members? And somebody listened to us, and then they changed it.
But guess how much money you saving out your pocket because of that? And I remember that whole debate because all the people on the other side didn't support that.
Yeah, but let me tell you this, and I'm gonna always defend this. Things are changing. Hey, life is about choices.
Yeah.
All right. That recruiter came there to that Glenville High School, and he said, "Hey, can I see y'all scores?" You had a choice. So my thing is, if you made a choice to go a different route, then that's on you.
But some of us feel like this about government too, Roderick, though. Although I consider myself successful, you consider yourself successful, everybody can click for everybody at different points in our lives, right?
Right.
And I believe in a government that could help somebody, even if they made mistakes along the way, to once they finally find themselves, that government can be there to give them a helping hand.
And I agree with that.
Temporary
help.
Yeah, temporary help. But most people, like I believe, like with Section 8, I think you should have, like, if we talk about policy, Section 8, you should only be allowed to be in Section 8 for so long. After that, you're on your own. I believe that there should be some work requirements for that, and I think that we need to change requirements about men living in a house with women that's in public housing, because sometimes, given the way housing prices are now and rented, that's probably about the only housing that a family can afford. So I believe in some of the tough love and help at the same time, because I do want to interrupt that cycle of living in the government housing and just stay in this cycle of poverty. Yeah, we need those opportunities, but we also have limits.
I think that middle ground has been drowned out. And the voices of that middle ground have been drowned out, especially if you look at the South, because I think the South had, from the Democrats, even though you might have been liberal or progressive, you still had a connection to what was really happening here in the South. And I think the Democratic Party in the South, once everything was gerrymandered to the point to where you can't really win as a Democrat in the South, once it got to that point, and all the voices swung to the right, even on the state, federal, and to the local level too. Once that started happening, I think the Democrats lost a lot of power. And then now you have the California and the New York, who are really progressive and kind of disconnected from rural America. And so now that middle ground is just drowned out to the point to where I don't know if it's coming back. Because you either have to be ultra MAGA and really rich, because that's mostly, you take somebody like Rick Allen in District 12, or somebody like Buddy Carter, who have a lot of money and a lot of influence and a lot of power. They're not going to lose. It's going to be hard to beat them. And so somebody from the middle who may be trying to work their way up through the ranks, they just aren't going to have the economic power to be able to face them. So that voice of the Democratic Party who said, hey, we're not from California. We don't really care about all that. This is what we care about. We're more connected to the people on the ground level than y'all are. Let us take it and run with it. I think that middle ground is gone, and I don't know if it's coming back.
Michael, I agree with you. Until somebody like that happens, I'm telling you, because at one time before, it took a congressman from South Carolina to bring us back from Bernie Sanders. Y'all remember that? It took him to come in there and bring Joe Biden back from the dead.
You talking
But
about?
it's Clyburn. It was always gonna happen. It was always gonna happen, Clyburn. It was always gonna happen because black folks are very pragmatic voters, and Bernie Sanders never connected with the African American community in that way. But like Michael said, see, the bigger thing is on both sides. Gerrymandering, especially partisan gerrymandering, is the reason why we're where we are. In order to win your primary, you have to play to the extremes of both parties. And so there's no incentive to come to the middle to strike common ground on legislation. It is a cuss word in D.C. now for a Republican to work with a Democrat. They're going to get primaried and get kicked out of office. And the Democrats, they can a little bit try to, compromise, but they can only go so far because we got some wing nuts on the left side too that don't understand what it's like to work with folks in the middle. And so ever since like the 80s, the 80s, we lost that connection. It's just gerrymandering. You don't have to.
That middle is growing. That middle is growing with frustration. That middle is frustrated with the Republicans. That middle is frustrated with the Democrats because now the leaders are not speaking for us in the middle. I'm telling you right now, if I go and did a poll offline and I ask you about, some of this stuff that they thought were topics, you look at what's her name, the vice president that Kamala that just lost. All right. You look at how she answered that question about girls' sports. Half of y'all would disagree with her. You get what I'm saying? But she felt she felt like that was a line that she needed to stand on. I'm telling you that the middle ground.
But see, that was taken out of context. That was taken out of context, and it actually moved the election. And I think research showed that it moved the election 2 points.
Yeah.
But guess who that happened under? The man that won. It was in his administration where the lady got her sex changed in prison.
That comes down to messaging, branding, and
marketing.
It comes
down messaging and all this other stuff. And so my thing is, first of all, we can go to gerrymandering, partisan gerrymandering, but it's also the ignorance of the American people. We have dumbed ourselves down where social media has become the number one medium to get information, and they lack on. You got a lot of people out here loud and wrong with loud opinions that's grounded in nothing, and it has infected our body politic like I have never seen. When I see Democrats out here criticizing candidates for office based on Republican talking points, that means that the Republicans have taken over the media space, especially this social media space. And that's what irked me. And I'm sitting here looking like, when I remember as a kid watching C-SPAN when Hillary Clinton tried to pass Hillary Care, and how they trounced her and dogged her out. When she ran for president, I saw black folk, young black folk, even Democrats criticizing her using those same talking points. I was like,
points. Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was predator. I'm gonna be honest with you. I use the same term today.
But here's the thing, Roderick. Most congressional black caucus members voted for the crime bill in '94 because guess what? We saw it in Glenville. Our streets were being ravaged with crack cocaine. People was breaking up people's houses.
We even had a documentary on Glenville.
Yeah, you had crack
How y'all target thing going?
Oh, it's going well.
They down 16 billion, bro.
Yeah, they down a lot of money.
Have they changed their DEI policy?
They scrambling right now, bro. Have you looked?
Have they changed their DEI policy?
No, it ain't about changing the policy.
Internal conversation.
What was the whole purpose of this?
Mobilization.
Internal conversation stated that they
thought
mobilization.
That was the purpose.
They were trying to ride us out. They said
the purpose wasn't trying to get the DEI policy back.
No.
I'm going shopping the fucking mall.
Bro, we sent you the fact. You didn't even read it.
Yeah, that was.
I'm going to Target tomorrow.
You ain't even read it, did you?
But I guarantee I ain't been to Target.
I thought
I'm going to read it.
I didn't want to read it. You know why?
Because I didn't anyway.
See, what we have to realize, though, even back during the civil rights,
hold on real quick.
Everybody went with Dr. King.
Yeah, or Harriet. I would have had to drag my brother out. Come on out here, Slick. Real quick, but if you told me I told you this segment.
Some of y'all, I'm more black than some of y'all. You motherfuckers.
Roger wouldn't have made it out of slavery at all, because as soon as they raised the whip.
What I'm telling you is,
he would have fought back.
We have
Slick, we got a caller. We have a caller on the line. Commercial break really quick. If you're just tuning in, I told you guys this is the corner store, and this segment was going to be pretty heated because it gets heated in our group chat. But we have a caller on the line. She's been heavy in the chat, and I want to bring her to the stage, Miss Micaiah. Welcome to the corner store. You can unmute your mic.
Oh, hi, I'm on here.
Yeah,
yes,
put your face on there.
Oh, hi. Oh, no, I just really wanted to talk about, especially when you're talking about the healthcare part of it, because, I just really have a passion for that. But literally, like he was saying, what I work in, I work in Savannah. So, I see patients on the west side, the east side, the hood, everywhere. Yeah, people have insurance and they do not go to their doctor. They don't go to the doctor. And that's an issue. But another issue is also the lack of health insurance available, in general. Like Georgia, I think it's like still 1.2 million, around that 11% that don't have health care in Georgia. And that's above like the national average. So that's the issue, and something that the state of Georgia really don't care about. Because I'm gonna be honest, like I called up to the governor's office, and of course they really didn't let me speak to him. So I sent an email and never got a response. Because I was trying to pitch to him that you need to expand Medicare and Medicaid. Like it needs to be an expansion. Amen. Because these rural areas, these underserved areas, that's who is getting hurt. Like Georgia is not just Atlanta. It's like they forget about the rural populations. They forget about the underserved populations, and that's the issue. It's a lack of health care, a lack of providers, a lack of something has to be done, because it's only going downhill and it's only spiraling downhill. And I see it all the time. Like I work in the field, I do in-home assessments. I go in home, do in-home primary care, work in clinics, do long-term care. It's an issue that needs to be addressed. And I'm just gonna be honest. I feel like the Republicans don't care. They do not care. And that's just point blank period. They don't care about serving the poor. They don't care about giving money to the poor. And that's just my personal opinion. But I've seen it. I'm directly working in healthcare, and it's an issue and it's a concern. Hold
on. Before we move on, drop, because you keep saying you directly working in healthcare, but for those who don't know, that's my little sister. But drop your credentials, and then also talk about the June 12th event, if you don't mind, because you kind of.
I was going to ask her to do a shameless plug for us, Mark.
I am a family nurse practitioner, so I am a mid-level provider. I go out and I see patients, prescribe medications, health education, all of that. So, and that's why I started this series. I started last week. I've been coming to Glenville to do a series of health educational, free health educational classes for the community. And I'm working with Optum Primary Care Glenville to bring the mobile mammogram back to Glenville. And I really want a good turnout, because they did bring it one time, and they tried to bring it back multiple times in the past, but they didn't have a good turnout. So just spread the word. I do have the flyer on Facebook that you guys can share, and it has the number to contact to schedule the appointment. But I'm most definitely gonna be posting flyers everywhere, because I know a lot of especially African American women, they need mammograms, because we have a higher rate of deaths. I guess I would say about 40% more than your white counterparts. Black women die at a rate with breast cancer 40% higher than their white counterparts, and it's a concern. Why? One of the reasons, the delay in care, we don't get mammograms like we should, and those health disparities are real. People don't understand those health disparities are very real. There's so much research to back it up, and I see it all the time. So just a little FYI, June the 12th, schedule your appointments. I have the flyer on my page. I can inbox it to whoever, and they can inbox me for more information.
question
Okay.
for you.
Hey,
Have y'all ever thought about bringing like a dental screening down there? Because I think that's one of the most underrated
Yes, I
services.
actually,
That
yes, I've been talking
Micaiah,
about that.
first, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I actually was talking about doing a dental segment and dental screening and everything, and I want Shannon to come and do some talk to
Oh
the.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And I have some ideas for your marketing also. So let's get together on that
Oh,
to get
okay,
the
yeah,
awareness of it.
yeah, because I'm trying to help the rural areas, and
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
the
Hey,
biggest thing, like you said, the disparities. Right now, there are more hospitals closing
yep,
than they're opening, and there are going to be medical deserts in the rural areas. So
yep,
we definitely got to
hey,
take care of ourselves.
and that's because the governor will not expand Medicaid. That was
yep,
free money that was allocated in the Affordable Care Act, and even a lot of the red states accepted it, and we're one a few that still have not accepted that money, and people are dying because of that decision.
yep.
hey, Micaiah, shout out to my family members right there for throwing in a great event. You know, that's the first and foremost. The second thing is the first problem I heard was she said it wasn't a turnout the first time they did that. You know what I'm saying? My issue is they giving out free advice, free medical, and guess what? Not nobody. It ain't important to them. But you the hey,
Have
if
y'all
you
have y'all
had
sent
on
it
the
out
side of
to?
that, hey, if you'd had a side on the side of that free crab legs or at the club, that thing would have been packed. You know, that's all
Have,
I'm
Well,
have
saying.
you
it goes
have
back
you reached out to
to
have you reached out to the
Just take it back
churches?
to Slick Place then.
Yes,
Man,
I've started reaching out to the churches, but seriously, like the mobile mammogram, like I really wanted, because even the lady and they were at St. Joseph Candler, she was telling me like in Sylvania, like they have a good turnout, so they go there twice a month. Those women in Sylvania don't even have to drive to Savannah far to get mammograms. They have that good of a turnout in that county, and as
let's
long as
get
they
it.
have a good turnout and appointments, they will come as much as they need to.
Hey,
yeah. Hey, do you
start with
have
your
a
family
Facebook
members.
page?
Start talking to your family members right now and start letting them know, hey, this is a free event. Let them, hey, make them come out. Make them come out and do that.
So
Yeah,
yeah, like it.
you
Oh, go ahead.
almost have to take the guerrilla marketing approach. Like some of these trail rides events I see,
Okay,
they start
okay.
marketing and getting that information out a month in advance, every other day. So you almost have to put it in people's face until they have to continue to see it. And it's a mindset. Like we want them to come, but we also want people to eat right, and they know what they
Yeah.
should and shouldn't eat, and they don't do it. So the
Pound these
body
churches,
will go where the
man.
mind takes you.
Pound these
Yeah.
churches' doors, man. Get out there and put it in there. Make them
Hey,
put it
I
in
know
their
some people.
announcements every Sunday, every Bible study session. You know, it's a lot of ways you could do this by communicating and advertising.
And
And
Yeah, but
that's
churches
why?
free.
Hey,
And
why
it's
we
free
got to do it
advertising.
that hard for free medical when
Yeah.
I know about an event that's finna happen in Tappan County on the 7th? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I mean,
Why is
that's
that
life,
message
bro.
so effective that they about to have a trail ride on the 7th, and I know about it from people up here in Augusta, and this is the first time I heard about this event.
But 'cause people don't take it as a priority,
Yeah,
bro.
it's the same
They
here,
don't
Slick. This
want
is
to do
my
it
first
until
time
they
hearing
need
about
to
it.
do
Yeah.
it. Like if you wait until you get sick, it's too late.
Too
So they
late.
don't prioritize their health when it comes to that, bro.
So hey,
Yep.
just like that trail ride, let's promote this event. I want them to be able I want them to be overwhelmed with people that they got to see. So hey, we got to use our voice to get those folks and change that
Let's
mindset.
let's do it now. My how do you
Let-
pronounce your name? Because I always get you and Micah mixed up.
Makai,
I
It's
think
really
I was.
Micaiah, but it's
Micaiah.
okay.
Hey, I pulled what's the
Roger
dude?
don't know us. He old. He way older than us, so he don't know the last group of
I
names.
Hey, you know what it is? Hey,
I
you know
almost
what her name is? Uncle Randy's daughter.
Uncle Randy. Okay. I say one of Randy kids. That's what I was saying.
That's it.
But I almost let out the corner store secrets one day. I'm trying to inbox Micah and inbox Michaela. So
Oh my
Well, you
God.
gonna mess us
You
up,
about to be
boy.
like
I was
Pete
Oh,
like,
you
Hegseth.
gonna,
oh
hey, Slick.
Oh man,
He
you
gonna, he gonna have us. Hey,
about to be
everybody
like
gonna know Slick.
you Pete
Yeah.
Hegseth.
yeah, but we got a little bit more of the show to go, Michaela. What I want to do is, do you have a Facebook page set up yet?
No, I don't.
All right, let's
Like
get that.
just
up and going, and then we got to educate people. Right now, social media is more about, I hate to say it, entertainment, but motivation,
selling,
finance, and health is what drives people to social media. They're going to be in one of those 4 pillars. So let's get a page set up, and then let's just start dropping gems in there on the importance of the mammograms, the importance of the
have a crab boil on
wellness
the
and all of
side.
that. And then use my Facebook page, the Run 24 group. Drop information in there.
Okay.
So,
Hey, tell them it's gonna be some crabs on the side.
Hey, can I? Hey, let me say something too. First AB, get the church van and go get these people. St. James, y'all get y'all church van, Church of God, Greater Zachariah, all y'all churches get the vans and pick these people up and take them to this event. You know what I'm saying? Let's be proactive and show our support. You know, you got people who can't get to where they need to be. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's get these cars out there and gather all these folks up and take where they need to go.
Oh,
You know?
y'all heard it from Big Goops. That's
If I
Auto
need to
Boy.
come through, I'll come and steal one of them school buses if y'all want me to. You know what I'm saying?
damn
And,
there you go. He's still on the stealing ministry, but you already got banned from Central Pharmacy, bro.
I know it. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I
Edmund.
get one of these school buses, bro, and get y'all.
Edmund, you and Shannon. Hey, Edmund, you and Shannon talk about a mindset. So tell me, how do we change this mindset if we keep feeding it the disease?
Man, now that's what we need to bring a psychologist in there, because that's my biggest frustration now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's human nature, bro, and some things won't change
No,
you.
it's mine. Man.
I mean, the mindset
It's
is
a
a part of the
cycle,
human
man.
nature because a lot of things won't change you until it makes you change when you don't have a choice but to do it. So a lot of people get in the comfort zone. They like what they do. It makes them feel good with what they're doing, even though they don't look at they need to elevate what they're doing. So they just stay in that zone until something makes them change, whether it's a
comfort.
Help,
they comfort. They comfort.
But see,
I tell you,
They
like in our
comfortable.
hometown, one of the things I see, and me and my cousin was talking about this a while back. Just think about it. If you stay in Glenville, right, there ain't no homeless person in Glenville, because guess what? You always got a family. There's somebody house to go eat at. You always have somewhere to go hang out. You really can be around there, don't even have a job, and so it's comfortable, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's the biggest issue with a lot of people in around there. You can gamble all day, gamble your money away, and still find something to eat, somewhere to sleep, somewhere to do. There's no incentive to really go out and do something unless you want more.
Yeah. And Big Al brought up first AB.
What's that, Roderick?
That was a good point.
Yeah, that was spot on. I appreciate it. And Michaela, is there anything else you had?
No, that's all. You can keep me out.
Thank you so much. Keep commenting in the chat. I see you down there getting busy. I also want to give a few shout outs in the chat. We have Miss Emily Murphy, Mama E in the building. Kirsten Kills McKinney, my homie from down here in Duval.
Well, you sound like that coach.
I know, Duval.
Yeah,
we have Reva King, Feliciano in here. And we have some people on YouTube that I'm not able to see. But thank you guys for tuning in to the Corner Store. We're almost at the fourth quarter. We have a few more topics. And Al, you brought up first AB. Now, has Reverend Bacon or any of the other pastors ever closed the back door and told y'all told us to don't let nobody out until we get these $200?
Well, I done seen preachers beg before. The deacon get up there. Oh, we ain't meet our budget. I need 20 more people with $5. I need 20 more people with 100. Now I done seen it done. That's just a black church tradition.
I done had a good run of going back to Glenville with no problems. So I ain't gonna say what I want to say. You understand? I done had a good run.
And then I
asked
Michael this question.
Oh, hold on. I asked the resident pastor right there.
That's where I was going with it. And I wanted to hear his take on this because, and I think it's tradition where black churches close the back door.
Y'all need to tell Nikki to come on here. We need to get Nikki on here,
bro. That's highway robbery, man. That's kidnapping, man. You don't.
All right, let's go to the resident pastor first. Minister,
Yeah.
Pastor, Bishop Michael, what do you say about this situation? And hold on before you go, for all you all that don't know, Marvin Sapp is currently going viral because he told the ushers to close the back door, don't let anyone out until we collect. I guess they said it was a $40,000, and he requested 20 for those in the congregation and 100 from those that were on stage with him. Is he right or wrong? Comment in the chat, Michael. I'll leave it over to you.
Yeah, well, first, let me say this: there's nothing wrong with raising an offering in church. We know we all been there. There's nothing wrong with trying to raise money, especially if the church does other stuff like has a avid outreach or does other stuff to and they have staff and things like that. So nothing wrong with raising an offering. Definitely don't want to misconstrue that. And there's nothing wrong with giving to the church. Right. So if you found yourself attached to a church that's doing good, and they're doing good, there's nothing wrong with giving. Now, the way he did it, I don't agree with. Number one, we've gotten out of that habit of calling like specific amounts, or try to get out of that habit of calling specific amounts, because you don't want people to know what everybody has. Number one, everybody ain't saved that come to church. So if you call $1,000 line, there's probably somebody in there that's trying to scope out who all in that $1,000 line, and bad stuff can happen. So for the protection of some of the people, just all that, but even $20, like, we just don't want. And then some people feel embarrassed and they don't want to give. If people want to give, they're going to give, and just leave it at that. Take up the offering, get out the way, do whatever else you got to do. If they want to give, they'll give. If you are doing right, they'll give. Look at New Birth. People give. Look at some other ministries. People give. And they give because why? The people are doing right, and they're doing what they have to do. They're taking care of the poor and the homeless and the needy. Even when you don't see it in the news, they're taking care of these people. So nothing wrong with giving, but just closing the doors and doing all the extra stuff, it's just too much. Like, hey, if they want to give, they'll give. And if you are that pressed about raising a certain amount, then you give what you can get and you write the rest of it. He got it. Never would have made it. Was a huge hit. You got it.
Oh, yeah. It's just hard to come from multimillionaires speaking to hundredaires out in the congregation.
Right.
And I think he's catching flack for that part of telling them to close the door, don't let anyone out. I actually saw the video. It's nothing new because I've seen other pastors do the same thing, but it's just the optics of it. And then, there's a great follow-away currently from the church. And then you put those optics out there, that's going to drive even more young people who weren't brought up in the church like all of us except Roderick. But what I'm saying?
Right. So, let me tell you a funny story about this. So I had a deep conversation, or I ain't gonna say it was a conversation, because my grandma and grandfather let me talk. And we was talking about tithes and offerings and the 10%, where did it come from? And I had a question about, if the pastor was called to minister, then why do we have to pay him? Why is he on salary? You get what I'm saying? Why did the volunteer secretary get, why did she get a salary? Who appointed the second woman as the, what is it they call it, second mama, second wife? What they call it? First lady.
First lady.
Yeah, who came up with that?
I told you, everybody knew that but him.
Yeah. But you know why I don't know it? Because I don't believe in it. You get what I'm saying? I don't. I'm a very religious guy. I probably read my Bible more than most of y'all on there, probably with the exception of Michael. I said with the exception of Michael. I read every day. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm right here. I
got
buddy.
you. I'm not doing that to knock you. I'm not saying that to knock you. But what I'm telling you is that I read my Bible. I don't think like most of you guys do. I'm an out-of-box guy. Always been and always will. And I'm not a follow me. You get what I'm saying? And what I do is I ask the question. My grandma explained why a preacher should get a salary. Me and her didn't see eye to eye on that. I don't mind helping a joker out, but that, the Lord called you for this. You need to take the sacrifice and do what the Lord called you for.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? That's my thought process.
Yeah, that's.
I got you. You're gonna say the same thing she did. He got to work. He got to take care of his family. He got to do this. He got that. Well, you should have said that to the Lord when He called you. Say, Lord, I got a lot of barriers right here. You know,
your day
you
job
help me out.
But the priest was well taken care of, even in the Bible. Now, you don't want them worrying about something if they're bringing the word, rightfully dividing the word.
And I also seen the Lord go in there and tell. Hey, I also seen in the Bible the Lord went in there and tore up a couple churches or two. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, Roger. I hear you, right? But I think we're looking at it through a skewed lens when we look at how the church has been abused by these money-hungry leaders. But there are modest preachers out here that preach the gospel and do what they're supposed to do, and they got to eat and they got a family too, and we should support them in order to lead. Because let me tell you something.
I don't mind that, but it ain't my duty.
It takes a lot, but that's why you're not a member. If you're a member of a church,
I am a member of a church. And I'm gonna tell you, and I'll shoot you. What I'm telling you is that just because you show up every Sunday don't mean that you got more credit than anybody else.
Oh no, you're absolutely right about that.
What I'm telling you.
But see, I think where I have these conversations with others too. See, I think we have raped people for so long over the coals for money, when in all actuality, my belief is, and reading my Bible, if everybody gave their 10% the way they were supposed to get it, there would be no need to raise these extra offerings. When you go back to what's that, Malachi, where it says, what was that, where they had to tell them to stop bringing the tithes into the store because they were getting so much. So my thing is when I think we are, even churches are like people. We're living beyond our means. And when we live beyond our means, it forces us to beat people over the head to get an offering. Versus if everybody would just come to church, pay their tithes, do ministry. Because I have this personal belief that why should I give to a small church who's not doing real ministry? I might as well give my 10% to the YMCA, because at least they got they got a teen program. They're doing outreach to the community.
Outreach.
This right here. And so there are some philosophical things that I have with the church, and I feel where people come from when it talks about paying tithes and getting beat over the head with money from these churches. Because my thing is, if your church ain't open, doing after school, doing all these other things, why should I be giving my 10%, all my 10% to you?
Hey, let me tell you a story. I went to a church in Japan, and it was an African American church. Now, made for military, off base. This guy went out and got him a church, and ministered. And I went. I was told that it was a pretty good church. So I go, pack my family up, and the first thing they did, they didn't allow any kids in the church. They had what they call a kids church. So that was the first rule. My kids didn't know nobody there, and they forced us to kind of separate them instead of having my toddler sit with me. The second thing was that they after we left, they made me fill out this information form. All right. And they told me items that I needed to bring back on the second visit. One item on there was my W-2. I mean, not my W-2, my LES.
Oh, no.
Number one was my LES. They wanted a copy of my LES.
I hope you didn't go back.
Yeah, bro. I didn't go back, Mike. You know what I'm saying? What I'm telling you is I don't mind taking up money for the church. I give. Every time Reuben King has asked me for donations for that church, I have sent it. I'm talking about over the years. I have sent my money, didn't ask for nothing, don't do nothing. He told me, say, hey, I'm asking all the grand boys to give me this much money. And I sent it every time. You get what I'm saying? But if my granddad would have come to me and say, hey, this your church, and it's 10%, and that, I would not have given it to him. You're not going to make me give you. And you're not going to use a scripture in the Bible to make me give you.
Yeah,
I'm going to give you.
I agree with you. That's
on my heart.
Yeah, I have some qualms with that too. Like, I have an allotment that comes out of our banking that goes to a specific church, but I don't even go to that church. So I look at it as giving it to the kingdom. But I see their ministry throughout the city with the outreach, clothing the naked, feeding the hungry, and all of that good stuff. So I definitely agree with you on that. Last thing before we go, Big Al, I want to make sure we keep you in tune with the conversation. But if you in the back of the church and Marvin Sapp say close the door and you got to go to work or the bathroom or you got to get the crafty crab after what? How would you respond to the ushers?
One of them usher boys going through that door. That's probably gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
I
ask
can
you
imagine
politely.
that, man.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you politely to let me leave, and not you gonna politely go through that door. You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel like when the church go that far, that says a lot about the character of that church. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That says a lot about what they're all about and the meaning of everything. You can
Yeah.
take a person like Marvin Sapp and he's the greatest singer or he's this and that, but then once he does that, somebody like I agree with Slicker 100%. You know what I'm saying? That takes that character of that person and that church, and now Evan, as you said, now they get slandered.
Yeah, you got in today's
And you
times.
gonna you gonna lose either current followers or people who thought they would want to go that route.
Yeah, in today's times, it seems like the two main people who keep going viral for whatever reason, sometimes good, sometimes bad, are preachers and politicians
Yes,
who
man.
are supposed to be the leaders, one on the secular political side and one on the spiritual side, but sometimes they just go viral for the wrong reasons.
But
I think he tried to put out a statement that he kind of explained it, but there's a difference between saying close the doors, and saying hey or something logistically that just could have
you
been
give
better.
order. He's the guy that give
Or
order. He gave order
I prefer
and to his
I,
people.
pre- I prefer everybody stop walking or something like that, but he didn't have
Right.
Yeah,
to close the
yeah,
door.
yeah,
But he
something like
gave
that.
order to his people who like, hey, I'm telling you, you do this. And what you think his people gonna do? They're gonna close and block the doors.
Right.
He could have said it jokingly or, oh, ain't nobody leaving until we get this right here. You know what I'm saying? But he was dead serious about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, big facts, big facts. Well, quick commercial break again. Thank you guys for tuning in to the GVGA Corner Store, where we let you in on our group chat. We have a lively discussion tonight, a lot of energy. If you're down in the chat, let us know where you're watching the show from. If you're watching on YouTube, let us know where you're watching the show from as well. Moving on to the next topics, we only have a few more. See if we can crunch these in. And we don't have to belabor some of these, so everybody doesn't really have to opine, but did Chick-fil-A drop the ball with the scholarship picks? I know there's been a lot of mixed messaging coming
I don't
out
know
with
nothing
it.
about that.
Yeah, I
So
don't know nothing about
I
that.
saw it,
So
but
that's
I
a
just
local story, and
Oh.
yeah, I don't know the full story though.
yeah,
because
well,
I don't know why. We don't know the ramifications behind it.
Yeah.
I don't want to get out there and say something I don't even.
yeah. I mean, just to sum it up, basically, there was a post. I guess someone took the pictures of all the scholarship winners and all of the white kids, and I think one Asian amount was the same. It was 2,500, and then they had one young
Oh, the
black
kid that got
girl.
$1,000.
She got $1,000,
Yeah. Okay.
and
Okay.
then it went viral because
Yeah.
everyone was talking about the discrepancies.
Yeah.
There are different criteria when it comes to those scholarships. I don't know the backstory on all of it. To me, it was just the optics on how the pictures look. And then I
Exactly.
was
I was
like,
about to say that. Kind of like the
yeah,
Marvin Sapp thing. The optics just don't look right.
they just don't look right. And then from a business standpoint, you want to have brand reputation, protect your brand. And then it also shows the lack of diversity in the room of the decision makers.
But can I say this right here? It could be they felt like that was that it would have been diversity, equity, DEI giving her $2,500.
With
But
everybody else.
everybody else got it.
Yeah. And to
I
Chick-fil-A's
don't like
defense,
Chick-fil-A anyway.
yeah, I'm stopping anyway too. But I've seen where it was a young black man, a black boy that won 2,500, and then they had pictures of the white kids only getting 1,000. So it's just the optics to me, and then they've been radio silent on it instead of just saying, "Hey, this is what it was." They just kind of let it play out. Moving on to the next one, man. Now this has kind of been trending and went viral too. Jayden Daniels, JuJu Watkins, and Jayden Daniels' mom video. Have y'all seen that? Slick, have you
Man,
seen
that
that?
woman knows good well
I
she shouldn't
saw
have
it.
did
You know,
that.
I think she doing that. I think it's more of a joke
Yeah,
than
I
it
think so
is.
too.
Yeah, I think she's trying to play to the crowd a little bit with, especially with the JuJu Watkins thing. I think she tried to play because she pointed to the camera and laughed and giggled. I think her intentions were, you know, that she got a young son, millionaire, handsome young fellow, that she don't want him to get caught up like some of these other guys are getting caught up with. But the JuJu thing, I think, was a joke. Let me put it like that. It was like a joke. That's how I took it, you know. But I can tell you this. I kind of believe in that. I think that we as parents need to start weeding out some of these extracurriculars. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't have said that 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But now you almost got to interview that young lady that could come in and affect your life, because she could come in and be a Kobe wife, scoop your kid up, love him up, and cut
And
you out.
take him away from you. Absolutely.
Yep.
And then now, part two
Agree.
of that topic. Back
Because
in the day,
R. Kelly said it's the power that you know what.
yeah, definitely.
And we just got out of church, and there you go.
I know, right? Part two of that, thinking back in the day, have your parents ever blocked a curse from happening to you or somebody you like and you waiting on to talk to, and then your
Man,
parents
I ain't
got
listen.
blocked?
I ain't listen, man. My dad told me, man, it was all kind of girls my dad and aunts and uncles told me about. I ain't listen. And I paid for it.
Yeah.
Me and you both, Slick.
Boy, I was about to say we can, because I ain't either.
Yeah. I ain't listen, boy. I ain't calling no
listen
names
one
either.
bit.
I ain't calling
Yeah.
no names either, but I ain't gonna lie. A quick story. I wanted to talk to this girl like all year long. I ain't saying no schools because they might be watching. And when she finally called me, she got my number, I think from Al, and finally called me. And I was on punishment. And, you know, in the house, we had 2 phones in the house. So I snuck and got on the phone, was talking, and Duck got on the other end. Shannon, what you doing on that phone? You know you ain't supposed to be on the phone. And hung up. And I had to play it off like, man, he just want to use the phone. That's all. And man, I was so scared to talk to her after that, bro. I was embarrassed. But I look back at it, I'm like, dang, I'm glad he blocked me from that one up, boy.
Yeah, it is, boy. Yeah,
No,
it is.
that you was on punishment.
Yeah.
I'm talking about strictly calling the girl name out and saying, I don't want you around there. I don't want you talking to that girl. I've had that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
had that too, Slick. I had her mama tell me, like, you ain't gonna do it. This ain't gonna be it.
Yep. I've had girls' mama call me or go to my daddy and
Slick,
tell
we
me,
know who this one is too together.
yeah, tell me to stop talking to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. Shoot, that's pretty regular for me. To be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I hate to say it, you know, my family, you know, they were kind of structured. You know, they certain people didn't fit the profile. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll let you know. My wife to this day, 20, 26, 28 years. I remember I brought my wife to meet my grandma. She wasn't my wife at the time. She was my girlfriend. And it was, you know how it is. You got your girl with you showing a little small town. You want to stop by grandma and show grandma. Well, my wife wasn't really dressed for a family event. You know what I'm saying? And she had this halter top on with a belly ring and, you know, some shorts. And the shorts weren't that bad, but the halter. My grandma, I say, Grandma, this is Brandy. And this is my girlfriend. She from Fayetteville. She got family in Waycross. And Brandy said, "How you doing?" and reached her hand out. Looked at her up and down and did not shake her hand.
Miss Novella?
Yes. Yes. And I know why. You know, I'm serious. I know why. But 20-something years later, guess what? My wife laughs about that because she says, you know, the first impression, you know what I'm saying? Think about
It's
it.
a must.
You go back in the early 90s, and Michael, you know our family, you know, the early 90s, and my grandma looked her up and down. this ain't for you. Who you with? You ain't here with my grandson. You know, but she wound up being my wife. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey,
say that about old
isn't
Dustin,
it your
boy.
grandmother? Ain't your grandmother's birthday yesterday or something?
Yeah, it's the day, ain't it?
It's today, right? Oh
Happy
yeah!
birthday,
Shout out
Miss
to Miss
Novella.
Novella King. Happy birthday to one of the queens of
Living
Glenville.
legends.
Yeah, I need to get with y'all too,
Living
Roger.
legend.
I want to do a Black History on her because I know Mr. Rubin has so many stories on him, but I think it'll be fitting to do something on her while she can still see it and continue to bless us.
It'd be nice to talk to grandma, man. Like I say, I spend time. I don't know if the other grandkids do this a lot, but I sit down with grandma them and they go over how they got to Glenville, how they met, how they got to
see, that's how my grandma was,
community,
man.
you know, how the community was and who, like, she would tell me about different people in the community, people that I used to look at. Remember, what's the guy, Vody? Remember Vody? You know, my grandma talks about Vody, saying Vody was a handsome young man, smart, and then
articulate young man.
And then
I
he
got him
on
listed.
that pop, you know what I'm saying?
Do a Black History story on him. Do y'all know any of his family that's still around?
I didn't even know Vody had a family, to be honest, but you know what? Yeah, but you know what? I grew up with Vody. I saw Vody every day at that club. Me and Vody sit there and talk for hours, you know, and he's a smart, intelligent guy, and he would tell me things in life. He showed me how him and Snake Vaughn. Y'all remember Curtis Vaughn? Snake?
Snake,
Yeah. Snake gave me TV. I had to get a TV shot because of Snake.
Hey, them guys.
Basically,
what? Hold on, Snake.
What that man did to you to give you a shot?
No, because you know I used to be around my grandma Romella them over there in the tree and stuff, and Snake used to be all around us.
What?
That's it.
It was everyone.
I with Snake every day.
Yeah,
Snake, Vody. I was with them guys pretty much every
blew
day.
Your face too much, huh?
Yeah.
Because we on the tree, you know, that's my grandma Romella them people.
Yeah,
you know, that raised me.
Every day, them jokers at the club, they taught me how to play checkers, taught me life, taught me about girls. I'm telling you.
But hey, Evil Peace, boys, one girl, Jacksonville. I don't even want to call her name, CW. Hey, yeah, she told me that wasn't the one. She told her, hey, you ain't the one. I just want to let you know. I was like, damn, mom, you just gonna say it like that?
Just like that?
Like, yeah.
I tried to tell you that too when I was at Savannah State. And you called me and said, "Boy, I done got." Nah, I ain't gonna say nothing.
Don't do it, bro. Leave that be now. I told you when we're gonna do that now.
Yeah.
Right.
But going back to Vody, if anybody's listening to chat and you know if he has family, I would love to do a Black History story on him because he also spoke 7 languages coming up, and he also did people's taxes coming up in Glenville. But was drunk almost every day, so you would never know.
Hey, if you let Vody do your taxes in the shape that I saw him growing up,
bro, I know a couple people who do.
I heard a lot of
I don't give a rat. Hey, I don't care how smart that joker was. Hey, I don't care how
I just never saw him. So
I ain't never Vody do no
catch him in the morning like 7:30 before he got on.
Have you ever saw him sober? I've never remember him being sober. Ever.
Nah. Well, I think that he was such a, you know, in his state that, especially alcoholics, that sometimes they have a constant, you know, some people as alcoholics have a constant like blood alcohol level of like 2 point something. So that's like a normal. Let me put it like this here. I've seen guys that was such an alcoholic that daddy used to keep rubbing alcohol on the counter. And they would take a swig of that so they can get to that level of normalness. Because if not, they will feel sick. I saw this personally. Woo! I hit.
Hey, I see that. I see that. I see that.
All right, we're coming to the tail end of the show. Unless Roger, you got a what were they thinking? So we can do it after the
Democrats.
We're not going back and forth
Burning. Hey, Edmund, Bernie, and AOC. I put them all three in one of my thinking.
Yeah.
And
But
hey,
before we
YouTube,
go,
hey,
I want to
YouTube
propose.
with them numbers and stuff. And they
You know
still ain't
me,
got
I'm
no
a numbers
DEI
guy,
program.
bro. You know,
You
I
on
got to
there.
look at the numbers.
Bump them
But
numbers.
going to a little lighter subject, the women in the chat, I want to know, back in the day, which option would you have taken? A skinny, ugly guy who's fine, built like Hercules, or a handsome, fat, and overweight guy?
Al Lewis.
Both. It depends on how much dope he was selling.
Like Al Lewis.
Let us know in the chat. Skinny, ugly,
it depends on how much dope he was
healthy
selling.
and handsome.
Depending on
I
what you
done
live in,
seen
Slick.
Huh?
Depending on what
One of the
city you
biggest-
live in.
Hey, one of the biggest pimps in Glenville was ugly as all out here. So
Ugly.
all out
Yeah, but we kind
got
of
a
had this
kid in every house.
conversation. Had this conversation today. It was a little lighthearted and fun, and got some jokes out of it. So I'm gonna bring it to the corner store again. Would you take skinny and ugly? I mean,
Damn.
skinny and ugly, or big and cute?
I'm gonna
not
take that
answering
one right there.
Let
She
me
about
get
right.
Rainbow
But,
Magic.
hey, but you got to put this in time though. Right now, that right there, that look pretty good. You know what I'm saying right now. But think about back in when you 14, 15 and a big hammer knocker like that, man.
God damn.
I don't know. I was an ambitious 14
Where
and
you got that
15 year
word
old.
from? Where you get that word, boy? A hammer knocker.
Hammer knocker, bro. Big old hammer knocker like that.
God damn.
Listen, I was an ambitious 14-year-old.
Y'all know
I know you said, Slick.
Bro, them hormones was twerking back then, bro. Them
Yeah,
hormones
but
did
you
something to your
didn't.
eyes.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you now. If we did have some attractive big girls, but they were like buddies. You know what I'm saying? When you was in high school, elementary, them were your buddies. You know what I'm saying? But now, you know, from about 35 to 50, that's prime meat right there. That's that's prime right there. You know what I'm saying?
What you
That's
do? Hey,
the
put that back
wagyu.
up. Put that back up, Shannon.
Yeah, that's prime
up.
right there.
Which
That's the
one?
wagyu.
Yeah, right there. Look at him,
Yeah,
man.
that's prime, man. Look there. Look at
It
that.
ain't nobody right now to turn that down.
Yeah, that's prime right there.
That right there,
About
man.
250.
That'll get you over some of the 10s.
Yeah, that's
a 10.
about 250 right there.
That's a good 10.
255.
Okay. Yeah, she's well put together.
I don't care what
But
nobody
back
says.
in the day, it was a preference more so. No matter how they looked back then, like I know guys who would not date certain girls if they was over a certain weight.
That's an out of town girl back in the day.
Yeah,
that's an out of
I don't
town.
know, man. I don't think
that ain't even Reedsville right there.
Let me go check what this chat saying, man.
Yeah,
Let's go to the
chat. Ladies, what do y'all say, ladies?
That's a
ugly, skinny. I mean, ugly, fine.
I'm not. Hey, Mike. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Hey,
Slick, how far you going out of county?
You got them 12 to, you got them 12 to 3. You got them 12 to 3 girls. And then you got
The thoughts and opinions on this show does not represent the opinion of our employers or organizations. These are the opinions of the individual hosts. Sit back, relax,
Thank you, Shannon.
No,
beautiful women.
We're not talking. Hey, you talking about back in the day? Back in the day, you had the 12 to 3 girl. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't going on
you
now.
had
AM or
that
PM.
you would be out in the light.
AM, bro.
AM or PM, a weekday or weekend. Which one was it?
12 to 3? 12 to 3, 12 to 3. You know what I'm saying? In Glenville, after about 1 o'clock, bro, ain't really nothing moving but you and whoever you trying to sneak with. You know?
Hey, that's funny.
Hey, some of the girls knew who they were.
Hey, somebody said in the comments said Cap.
Who is that?
I ain't saying
Who?
I can't see the comments, but 12. Hey, you got the 12 to 3 girls. I mean,
Hey, nigga said
cap. Hey, some people don't recognize when they was the 12 to 3 girl.
Hey, play that disclaimer again.
Chop it up at the corner store.
Oh no!
Hey, some people don't recognize. I mean, I ain't saying what I'm saying is you talking about back in the day. Now, when you talking about present day,
so what you saying? They moved to the evening from back in the day. Now they in the evening.
Yeah, some of them moved to the evening. Some
of
them
went from 12 to 3 to 3 to 12.
Hey, Evan, I'm about to hang up on y'all.
We're gonna have to. If they keep going, we're gonna have to leave. We're gonna have to go out to some Marvin Sapp.
Hey, I'm about to hang up on y'all because I
have to go from the check, the corner store to Time Saver.
I told y'all to talk about
look, man. Hey, look. I don't care what y'all say, man. I don't care what y'all say.
I would have lost it.
Everybody got the one in the corner that nobody knew about.
God, you are the Glenville Charlemagne, Roger.
Yeah. Everybody had that one in the corner that they didn't know about. Girls,
you know what? That's
some
who
of them girls
is.
the same
He
way.
is Charlemagne the God.
You rap about that though. Yeah.
Hey, bro, y'all. Hey, I know Hot Dog. I done seen Hot Dog 12 to 3 girl. You know what I'm saying? Al, I done been. Hey, I done been with Al with the 12 to 3. You know what I'm saying? So, hey.
Slick, I ain't got nothing negative to say. I'm just, hey.
Come on, now. Come
Hey,
on,
I'm done.
Right, and Slick, he had a whole roster of 12 to 3.
Hey, man.
All right, now. Hey,
okay,
I know a lot of shit now.
Okay, my bad.
I had a sickness. I had a sickness back then, man. I didn't do too much quality, and then I was doing quantity.
Yes.
Gotcha. And once again, if you tune into the corner,
I'll say this off stage. I'll say that off stage to you, Roger.
It's only
these are the
what you sound like right now
of the individual hosts, and these are light-hearted jokes. We love all women, all sizes, no matter the time of the day.
Man, we were talking. Hey, for credit,
y'all
give
know
me credit. I was talking about what back in the day. What the type of girl that we normally we were talking to, and then today, today, you look at a girl that is, maybe a little plump. We don't care too much about that right now. You know what I'm saying? 200 still good. You know what I'm saying? But think about back in the 90s when you was 19, 20, 200 might not been my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
200.
To add additional context to it, we had a group chat. We were talking about our preference back in the day before we matured, but now we went through the maturation stage and our picks are different. Well, most of us are married now, so
yeah.
Hey, our picks
how Ray Charles did it? hey. Right now, hey, I take it.
But yeah, back in the day, you know how it is, man. Back in the day, a lot of our preferences were different. You know what I'm saying? You get what you can get. Some of us will get what you get. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm telling you is how many of y'all, you know what I'm saying? You asked me certain style with basically what I took that to the prom or out in public, different thing. I told you no. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. I want to know. Nigga said, "Let's get the truth." Ask her what she talking about.
I have no idea what Nick talking about.
Nikki, come up to the chat. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. Come up and talk to us. You don't have to turn on your camera.
If you hang this mic
now,
up,
we're at the end of the show now.
You hang this mic up.
Put it on.
Never would have made
it.
Hey, Nikki, I'm dropping it in the chat. Come talk to us.
Oh my God!
I got to cry sometimes.
Hey, don't ask for it.
All right, I just dropped it in the chat. Nigga, come talk to us. We're gonna keep it PG-13, and we at the end of the show too, so we don't want to be long with it.
We hope we're gonna keep it PG-13.
Hey, in all fairness, I used to date Nikki back in the 8th grade.
Oh, don't backpedal now.
Trying to clean it up.
Don't backpedal.
No, I used to date Nikki back in 8th grade.
Clean it up.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know what she planned on trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, she said she's driving, so we'll have to catch that next episode.
Yeah, I don't know what she planned on doing, but
yeah. Nigga, we might need you to be a guest co-host on the next episode. So you're real Glenville.
Please.
Yes, sir.
You are Gville to the heart. So
Nick, our girl, man. Y'all, Nick, our girl, man. We grew up with some beautiful women.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of them that turn into swans. So we love all y'all.
Some of them still ugly duckling.
Hey, let's go, Shannon.
Nah, that's Shannon.
Hold on. Before I go,
you gonna get canceled.
Hey,
before I go,
and we ain't got no sponsors yet, Evan. And we ain't got no sponsors to go get canceled.
The thoughts and opinions on this show does not represent the opinion of our employers or organizations. These are the opinions of the individual hosts.
Man, this ain't equal opportunity, man. Either you will or not.
That was Shannon's fault. He set him up for that. That was too easy. I knew what he was about to say.
On and on.
You cooked up.
Yeah, but once again, thank you guys for tuning in to the Corner Store. Great show tonight. Thanks, Michaela. How you say it, Micah?
Michaela.
Thank you for coming up once again. She's going to get some information out about her wellness initiative and the mammogram. So we definitely want to support her. Anytime we come up, we're going to give shout outs. And I'll get with you, Michaela, and we can do some things as far as marketing goes to where we do it smarter and not harder. And we work harder at being smarter with how we put it out there. Any parting shots from you guys?
Yeah,
free
man.
health
Sure
is wealth. Y'all take advantage of that, man.
Yeah.
Free health is wealth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. It's free. People are taking their time out to come out there and get some good education, good advice. They are bound by law to not talk about your stuff. I know in Glenville we got this thing that everybody wants to know my business. You know what I'm saying? Well, they're gonna know your business when you drop 80 pounds because you got sick. So go out there and get this prevention and go out there and get some help.
Bernie told me they're gonna have free lamb chops and lobster tails out there for the people that show up.
Man, look at
Sponsored
you. When I said that,
Sponsored by
when I
Slick
said
Cane.
that, you frown. Not
Sponsored by Slick Cane.
Hey, Slick, you told a crab leg.
Hey,
Elman crab legs.
Hey, I watched Elman face when I said that. I said advertise some crab leg, they'll be packed out there. Yeah, hey, I watched you frown on that. Now look at you.
Hey, now what day is this again?
It's on June 12th. So the flyer, when the flyer has a number that you can call and schedule the appointment. And so, you can call and they have funding, so you can get it basically free mammogram, free checkup.
Right.
And there's a lot of history of breast cancer and breast cancer deaths in Glenville. So
man,
it behooves everyone to go
when
check
the lobster and the chops coming? What time appointment is for the lobster and the chops?
Once you get a receipt of you getting your mammogram, you can go get your plate.
Well, I ain't got no mammogram, but I'm gonna get a chick to take with me.
Hey, let's chop that up. Let's chop that up, man, and those that come in and get, maybe we can find a restaurant or something, man. We go get some plates or whatever, and they get, those that show up, even with their kids, you can't bring your whole house now. But you come with your kids and you get a plate of some
if
drinks.
I'm back in town, then I'm definitely coming though for support. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's try to hype this up a little bit.
Or we could get together and put some change in there and get somebody around there that can get a grill there, grill some hot dogs and hamburgers and give these kids and the parents,
Yeah. I mean, if y'all willing to come home and do that, man, let's do that.
Let's support it. I mean, I'm a big believer of those who live there help be a part of this. So let's go after the corporate the businesses there to see what they can involve, and then we'll add on top of it.
There go our live podcast date right there.
We can throw in a podcast and everything there.
That's a good idea.
We've been trying to
Yeah,
do it
we
live
have-
anyway.
Do a podcast live right there.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make that happen.
What
June
date is it
12th,
again?
man.
June
Ain't nobody
12th?
doing nothing,
It's
man. Let's take
June
something.
12th.
But what I would say is, Shannon, this is exactly what we were talking about, where the people on the ground organize and we just come in and help and support.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Anybody
I
want to
mean,
donate,
we've done
man,
it
get at
before,
us so we can let y'all know on the podcast.
Even bring some of y'all big ankle women come on out.
Oh, dog, I'm going.
Oh,
bro.
Lord.
If you don't shut this thing down, bro.
And let's chop it up at the corner store.
They say,
Why are we
hey,
doing
Roger,
this?
they say they call her Aquanisha.
Aquanisha, come on.
Why?
Got
Boy,
two hot
this
dogs
boy
for
here.
you. All the helpings. All the
Let's-
favors.
Boy,
They said why they call her Aquanisha? She got water around her knee.
If you under 150 pounds, come on out. We got 3 hot dogs for you.
All your kids gonna come after you tomorrow, Edmund. All of them.
We 180.
They gonna have
go
us
to
in
the military base.
Why are we
right
still
now.
live right now?
180 to
Yeah, we
220.
still like I'm trying to
That's our
close it
target
up,
goal.
but Roger keep talking.
Boy, hey, Edmund, you gonna go to school tomorrow? Everybody gonna be standing at the door. What you said about my knees?
Hey, 180 to 2.
All right, thank y'all for tuning in to the corner store once again. We're gonna do it. Make sure you mark the date, June 12th.
June 12th, baby.
Health is wealth, moving is medicine. We're coming back to
Yeah.
help out the community to get healthier. So let's go. Peace and love.
235.
Oh my God.
This guy's gonna have,
6'2" slick. No
they gonna
better than
send all
6'2".
kind of letters to the corner store.